In this lesson, we'll paint holly. So I'll start with that center branch with a light brown paint. And then using a light reddish, pinkish red color, we can loosely put in some of these berry clusters. You can leave a few open and lighter, and also leave a little bit of white space for a natural highlight. Okay, and then rinse your brush, and with some green paint, we can start putting in the holly leaves. They have a very distinct shape with these little pointed ends. So if it's easier for you to outline it first and then fill it in, do that. Also remember, you can refer to the Pinterest board. There are lots of holly images in there, and keep those on hand if you need. Because the berries are still wet, I'm trying to not touch them, so be careful, otherwise your colors will all bleed together. Also, this is just the first layer, so I'm keeping it really light for now, and we'll go back in and add some details and extra layers on top. Okay, so I'm mixing up a little bit more brown into that green, and I'll start putting in some more of the details here, like darkening up that center branch and putting in that center line on each of the holly leaves. You can also define each of those little pointy parts on the holly leaves and adding a little bit more shadow. And if you're doing this, just remember not to do each and every single one, so it gives it a more natural look rather than an outline look. Alright, so now that the berries have dried a little, we can go in with a darker brownish red and drop in some shadow areas. You want to remember your light source when you're doing this, so the shadows are generally on the same side of each of the berries. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do every single berry. So having a little bit of dark and light areas will give it a visual interest, and also you can rinse your brush, and with the damp end of your brush, blend out any of those harsh lines or edges. All right, and then going through on the leaves and adding a little bit more shadow and layering here. I am putting in a bit of a darker green along the center area, and then rinsing my brush, and with the damp end of that brush, blending out the edges. Working in layers like this will give you a lot more control over the water and paint, so you can really control how much and how intense you want each shadow layer to be. I'm going in and adding a few more lines with a brownish green paint. It's a little bit darker. Alright, so go through and add any final touches and details that you like, and then we'll be done with our winter holly. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a ton of fun painting. And if you like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.